Good day guys, it is Monday morning and we are continuing our exploration of the beautiful city of Prague. Welcome to part 3 of the video, and today we are gonna start with Vyšehrad. Vyšehrad is a fort located on one of the hills of Prague, and it was built in the 10th century. And here is one of the entrances of it, the so-called Tabor Gate. We will go through it and we will also see some interesting places located inside the old fort. Here we have a very ancient water pump which is not functioning now, but it is interesting detail from the past. From this angle you can very well see how thick and high are the walls of the old town, the fort. Now of course this is much more modern, but you can really see the vibe, and what you see in front of me is the so-called Leopold Gate, or Leopoldská brána as they say in Czech. So we are now very close to the heart of the Visehrad. So guys, we are now at the heart of the Visehrad. And what you see in front of me is the oldest church in Prague. This very beautiful ancient church was built in the 11th century, and it is called the Rotunda Sveti Martina, or the Rotunda of St. Martin. Here you can see some information about it. You can read it later, and it is really in good shape. Very well preserved and very beautiful. And from here we have a really beautiful panorama towards the Prague city and Vltava river. As you can see, this is a very famous place, the hill of Visehrad, for local people and tourists to come to enjoy the beautiful weather and the beautiful view towards the city. We are now in the heart of Visehrad, and you can see in front of me the Basilica of St. Peter and St. Paul, which is the most impressive building here. And also it is a place where the royal members of the royal court were coronated, some of them were buried and so on. So overall this is a very famous place. Here we have the Royal Acropolis, the sheen of it. You can see how this whole complex was organized, and you can also check some of the history of it if you want. And now I will show you also the front side of the Basilica of St. Peter and St. Paul. As you can see, it is a very touristy place, but it is really beautiful, typical Gothic, medieval type of basilica. They are very tall, very impressive from the outside, most probably also from the inside. I'm not sure if I will be able to get inside and take a quick video, but if it is possible I will surely do it. Here we have the Letna Stadium, which is the stadium of Sparta Prague, one of the most famous football clubs from the city of Prague. As you can see, there are very beautiful graffiti, and I'm not sure if we will be able to see the stadium from inside. Most probably not, because today is Monday, but anyway, a bit of different object here. And this is how the front side of the stadium looks. As you can see, they even have added information when is their next match, which is tomorrow. So guys, here is our next tourist object. We are now entering the Strahov Monastery. This monastery is one of the oldest in Prague, and it was built in the year 1143 by Jindřich Zdík, if I pronounce it correctly, who was Bishop of Prague, and Vladislaus II, who was at that time the ruling Duke of Bohemia. Let me get a bit closer to it and I will show you the details. This is how the Strahov Monastery looks from up close. As you can see, it is a very beautiful building. Unfortunately, I think that it is not allowed to take videos and photos inside. But anyway, even from the outside, it looks pretty impressive. And this will be the last object of our cultural program for today and for the whole trip. But this doesn't mean that we are going back to our hotel. On the contrary, it is now time to finish our food and drink experience. And the interesting thing here is that there is also a brewery inside this complex, the Strahov Monastery, so I'm gonna show you this in a few minutes. Just look at that beauty. This is how the Strahov Monastery brewery looks. It looks like a very good restaurant, and here you can see the tanks with the beer. Let us get some interesting food and drink, and I'll be back in a few minutes. So guys, here we are at Pivovar Strahov. Here is the name of the place, you can see it. And here is the list with their beers. We are testing their triple IPA, one last beer, it is called. It is 10% alcohol. And the other one that you see here, let me first show this to you. Here is the one last beer triple IPA. And here is how their session hazy IPA looks. So let me test this. First we are starting with the one last beer triple IPA. This is very well made triple IPA, definitely on the strong side. You can see the punch, which is pretty normal for 10% beer. But the balance is great and it is very drinkable and enjoyable. And now I'm gonna check their session hazy IPA. This is good. Of course, as you can expect for a session IPA, the taste is much more mild compared especially with the triple one. But it is still very good beer for the hot weather. We will also get some goulash in a bit, which is traditional dish for all countries which were once part of Austria-Hungary. Thank you very much. In fact, yeah, it just arrived. Here is how it looks. In the different countries which were now part of Austria-Hungary, you have different implementations of this dish, but overall it is beef with sauce and some kind of local bread. It looks pretty good, so let me enjoy my meal, and after that we will continue with other places. So guys, here is our next craft beer location, Kunštatu. As you can see, they have very interesting writing in the entrance. So let's check what beer they have. So guys, let me show you what they have as beers. These are on tap. They don't have so much on tap, but to compensate for that, the list of the beers which they have in bottles and cans is really impressive. You can see what's going on here, and even the prices are pretty good considering that we are in the center of the old town, so most beers are not more than 200 krona. Yeah, there are some expensive ones, but most of them are under 200, which is under 8 euro, which I consider pretty okay. So guys, we are starting first with draft beer as usual, and this here, You can see it's a very good New England IPA by Crust Brewery, the beer Spot Coconut New England IPA. It is very white and refreshing, around 5.5%, and it is also with great fruity flavor, which is very good. So guys, this is the second beer that I'm gonna taste here. It is the Philadelphia Raspberry Sour Ale by Ubora Pivovar, Ubora Brewery. Let's check it. This one is very white and refreshing sour. The sourness is pretty intense. If you don't like sour beers, you won't like this also. But there is a raspberry taste indeed, and it is just for 4.2%, which is very refreshing. So guys, here is our next venue which we are visiting. It is the Beer Geek Bar. You can look at this beauty, how many beers they have. This is the background, and here is how the bar itself looks. The amount of beers is really good. So let me check what we have. So guys, here at the Beer Geek Bar, the first beer that I'm gonna check is this collaboration between Vic and VV. It is called Confluence New England IPA. It is very good, 6% alcohol, not too strong, not too weak, and very good taste. Maybe the best New England IPA that I tested today. So guys, we continue our exploration of the craft beer world of Prague, and here we have the Choose Hops New England IPA by Geku Brewery. This is very interesting New England IPA because it is not so hazy like you expect, and it has more like spirit taste. It is stronger, it is 7%, so the balance is towards the spirit side, but it is good indeed, very drinkable. So guys, as you can see, the weather turns to the bad side. It is raining now, as it was expected. The weather forecast was unfortunately right, so I think this is the right time to finalize this video. As always, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.